The moment food enters your mouth, a war for its contents has already begun. This is not a war fought with weapons. It is fought with enzymes, acid, and trillions of competing organisms, all racing to claim the nutrients before anything else can. This is the gut frontier. It starts with saliva. An enzyme called amylase begins breaking down starches before you have even finished chewing. The first chemicals strike in a battle that will last for hours. Once swallowed, food descends into the stomach, where hydrochloric acid and an enzyme called pepsin turn it into a churned, hostile liquid strong enough to dissolve protein and kill most invading microorganisms outright. What survives the stomach enters the small intestine, and here the terrain itself becomes a weapon. The intestinal wall is covered in millions of finger-like projections called villi, each one covered in still smaller microvilli, multiplying the surface area available for absorption many times over. The pancreas releases enzymes to break down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates into fragments small enough to cross that surface into the bloodstream. Nearly 95% of all nutrients absorbed from food are claimed here, in a passage only a few centimeters wide. But the small intestine is not empty ground. It is already occupied. The human gut is home to an estimated 1,000 distinct bacterial species, collectively outnumbering the cells of the human body itself. These resident bacteria do not wait passively for scraps. They actively defend their territory, a phenomenon scientists call colonization resistance. They consume the exact nutrients an invading pathogen would need to establish itself: oxygen, sugars, amino acids, until there is nothing left to sustain the intruder. Some produce direct chemical weapons, antimicrobial compounds called bacteriocins, precisely engineered to kill rival bacteria without harming their host. Deeper still in the dense, oxygen-starved environment of the colon, the largest bacterial populations on this frontier ferment the fiber that human enzymes cannot break down alone. This fermentation produces short-chain fatty acids, among them a molecule called butyrate, which feeds the cells of the intestinal wall directly and helps hold the entire barrier together. Without this fermentation, that wall weakens. The gut does not fight this war in isolation from the rest of the body. Immune cells patrol constantly beneath the intestinal lining, sampling the bacterial population, tolerating the beneficial majority while remaining ready to respond to genuine threats. And the gut communicates upward, through the vagus nerve, in a constant exchange with the brain now called the gut-brain axis. The short-chain fatty acids produced by fermentation can influence inflammation and mood far beyond the intestine itself. The gut wall alone contains an estimated 500 million neurons, a nervous system large enough that researchers have started calling it the body's second brain. Every meal restarts this entire process. Every fiber-deprived, heavily processed meal starves the resident bacteria that defend this frontier, weakening colonization resistance and giving opportunistic organisms a foothold they would not otherwise find. Every meal rich in fiber does the opposite, feeding the very organisms that hold the line. This war never ends, and it never stops mattering. It is fought in total silence, several times a day, inside every single person who has ever eaten a meal. Somewhere between chewing and absorption, in the space of a few unremarkable hours, one of the most sophisticated defensive ecosystems on the planet quietly, completely wins.